All right, gentlemen. Hello. Welcome back to me, Brandon Walker. I host Pick Central, the daily gambling show here on Barstool. Smitty is to my right. Big Ev is to my left. I'm looking dead in the face of Megan making money down there in Louisiana. Hello, Megan.
Hey, Brandon.
That's fine. We are brought to you by Fireball Cinnamon Whiskey, the #1 shot in the United States of America. Boy, I wish I had me an ice-cold shot of Fireball right now. Are y'all making noise in there?
They were not presented by Fireball.
We're not presented. Well, why did you give me a
It's just a regular ad read later in the show.
We're not presented by Fireball.
Correct.
What happened while I was gone?
The year ended. Also, I'm here.
Hey, happy birthday, TJ.
Happy birthday, TJ.
Happy birthday, TJ.
Did you not pop in your own show the week and a half you were away?
No, Marty was hosting. No, listen. Shout out Marty Mush. That was a joke. Marty's gone for a death in the family, so our thoughts go out to him. So I was gone a week, and y'all dropped the Fireball presenting sponsorship?
Don't talk to me. I'm not the producer of the show.
You got demoted from the Yak. You're not on the Yak anymore, so why did you get demoted?
They said it's my birthday. I could produce whatever show I want today.
And you chose Pick Central.
Yeah.
Well, that's the opposite of the truth.
Right. For the record, that's not what happened.
I don't think we thought it was. So I'll get to Fireball later.
F it, pick.
That's all I got to do with Fireball today?
Yes.
All right, Fireball, we're going to put you safely back in the stack right here. We'll talk about you a little bit. Hey, still, free your fire. Say F it.
Can I ask you a legitimate question?
Please.
Was that the first dine-in Pizza Hut opened this century?
I think they're making a comeback, Smitty. I think they're making a comeback.
Blockbuster next?
I think Pizza Huts are on the way back. Listen.
That's no shade on the Pizza Hut dining experience. It was great Pizza Hut in the 80s and 90s.
Dine-in Pizza Huts are fantastic. And the nostalgic factor, now this one's not as big. It doesn't have the stand-up Galaga machine or Pac-Man machine. A lot of them are the jukebox or everything.
Or is just Mississippi as a state in general 30 years behind the rest of America?
Is that you thought all weekend about that one?
No.
Throw that one on?
No, it's a legitimate question.
If being 30 years behind the rest of the country means I can go in and get me some Pizza Hut pizza, I'm fine with that. I love Pizza Hut.
Do they have a buffet?
You could do that at the Vince Lombardi rest stop, too.
No, they didn't. And listen, we were opening this in my hometown, right? And there were just some corporate people from Pizza Hut there and some people from my town, the mayor and everything. And we were all in there, and they were just having a little shindig. And we're eating pizza, and I swear to God, 50 people stopped and said, y'all got a buffet? Y'all got a buffet? The buffet plays. Don't tell me I skipped school when I was in school and went and had the buffet at lunch.
I just had a visual representation of the mayor of your hometown without knowing any facts.
Well, can we can what? No, hold on. I want to know.
Just
stop.
stop.
I want to know right now what you think the mayor of my hometown looks like.
Oh man, I
No. We're in it now. You're here.
Okay. Did you see Ben Mintz's?
I knew you were gonna say Ben.
No, not Ben Mintz. Not Ben Mintz. I'm talking about Ben Mintz's dress-up wardrobe when he came in,
right,
looking like he was going to go to divorce court.
Get a bank loan. Yes.
Yes.
I was thinking
that
bad haircut, cheap suit.
Mm-hmm. I'm thinking definitely receding.
Dive all the way in because you guys are in now.
Your hair before you knew any sort of option.
Well, guess what?
Existed.
Guess what? Racist.
Why is that racist?
How's that
You
racist?
both thought white guy. And
I didn't say white. I did not.
Oh, how many black people are sitting around with my haircut?
It's fair.
And you also already alluded to them being 30 years behind. So
That's my mayor right there. His name is Rod Bobo. And I love Rod, okay?
Way cooler than
Rod's a good-looking dude.
Yeah, that's my guy.
cooler looking than I expected.
He plays on the 50 and up softball circuit. He's a great athlete. I used to play basketball with him at Super Park. That's my friend Rod Bobo. So now don't you feel silly?
I might feel a little silly. I don't feel racist.
Well,
I think that was a little too much.
All I'm saying is
Good for Mr. Bobo.
I asked you for a caricature of my hometown mayor.
And you
painted a picture that it was
no,
you ugly white guy.
You assumed race based on hair. That's you being racist.
Listen, if there's a black guy out there with my hair, I don't want to see him because he's not going to be a pretty guy.
It's racist.
All right. Hey, Big Ev, how are you?
Bobo's a
All right,
great name.
Oh, he's a good guy.
Bobo's a good name.
Had a good lefty jump shot. Wasn't as good.
Bobo with the lefty jump.
Wasn't as good a basketball player as me, but was a fine athlete.
It's like Bobo for 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of Bobos from around there. We had a Bobo.
I'm obsessed with your hometown mayor, in a good way.
Do you not have the full picture there, TJ, of the whole group of us? I don't know where that would have been.
At Pizza Hut?
Yeah.
Let me find it.
Because there was, I swear, there were 60 of us. Anyway, it was fun. I got to go to a Mississippi State game with my mama on Saturday. We went there.
Shout out, Mama.
Shout out to Mama. We beat Ole Miss. I got to sit courtside. I shot the half-court shot at halftime.
Did you do better than Dave?
I did better than Dave. Yes, I hit the rim. I did do better than Dave. I got it there. So that was all I really cared about. I practiced it 30 times the day before, made like 3 of 30.
Exactly.
And then I got out there and I hit the rim.
You ain't throwing out a first pitch without.
I had 3 shots. The first one hit the rim, and I thought, okay, well, I'm here. And the second 2 didn't get close.
Indoor or outdoor?
To the Mississippi State game.
Oh no, I know, but we were practicing. Indoor.
Practice.
Okay. I practiced in their indoor facility. Yeah.
Okay.
So you really have a low opinion of Mississippi if you think Mississippi State plays their games outdoors.
No shoes. They probably play with no shoes. like
Yeah, where y'all play? Yeah, we have a little grass field outside the. We have a parking lot.
Still wearing Chuck
That's where you
T's.
land your planes.
I'm going to take you down to Mississippi.
I would love to go to.
I'm gonna correct your thoughts and your preconceived notions.
the air is so fresh.
It is so fresh. I did not want to leave yesterday. I didn't want to leave, but I did leave, and I'm here, and it's good to be here with you boys. Thank you for doing the show last week.
And lady.
Huh?
And lady.
Not necessarily great.
It's okay. He doesn't. It's just expected at this point. I get his bet. It's kind of played out, but it's okay. No worries. He's back, and we'll just keep on doing it.
Yep, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to keep on doing it. It's the only thing I know how to do. So there's Wallow and Gilly. They're here. What's up, boys?
I heard you were back.
Good to see you. All right. Wonder what they're doing here. Oh, I bet I know what they're doing here. Anyway, Big F.
Brandon.
Let's talk NFL, then we'll get to – we obviously have the College Football National Championship game tonight, and we can spend most of the second half of the show breaking down our bets, where our thoughts are about that one and stuff like that. But really, let's focus on the NFL in the first half of this show because your team's in the playoffs.
They are.
Your team's in the playoffs.
Number 1 seed.
And yesterday was I don't know, as far as season-ending weekends go, I thought it was pretty drama-free. It wasn't a lot going on.
Yeah,
The Lions keeping the Packers out on Sunday Night Football was pretty fantastic.
They deserve to be in.
The Lions?
If you're doing a neutral site field for the FC Championship, have a scenario in which the Lions can still make the playoffs.
If we were ranking teams based on watchability, the Lions would be like a top 2 seed.
And the Seahawks are at the bottom.
Seahawks at the bottom. But yeah, the Lions keep the Packers out. Can we just have a conversation? Aaron Rodgers, the opinion of Aaron Rodgers all time is a lot higher than it ought to be, isn't it? No. I saw a stat today. His last 4 gigantic games, like the NFC Championship game and these huge games he's played in, his fourth quarter stats have been pathetic.
Well, I guess the reason my pause was where do you actually put him in the first place?
He has the same amount of Super Bowls as Trent Dilfer.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Yesterday, he had to win and get in, right?
Did he play in another one? He didn't play in another one, right?
No. He had to win and get in, and he played the Lions, who, fine team, but their defense hasn't exactly lit the world on fire this year.
No.
And he scored 16 points. And
settled for a lot of field goals.
Yeah. He didn't do anything to win that game. I'm just saying. If we're judging quarterbacks every year, I feel like Aaron Rodgers falls short of where he's actually judged.
Look, he has multiple MVPs. He has put the team on his dick in previous years
and gotten to the number 1 seed and lost.
The number 1 seed, and yeah, but that's some of it's not all him.
Oh no, it never is though. When a guy wins the Super Bowl, it's never all him, but he gets the credit. So if he gets the credit, then he also has to get the shame.
He's just not a finisher.
He's not a finisher. He's not. No. Is discount double check still a thing?
No, they moved on.
We don't do that anymore. Kind of liked it. That was a good.
The new commercial they do now is
7
funny.
years ago.
Yeah, no,
Probably because it reminded you of wrestling.
it did. What's the new one?
It's the one where it's like they have the body double though. It's like 2 of him.
Yeah.
The one guy's like, oh, like don't feel like playing or whatever. Like not what he said something like that about like not playing or something.
He's in a lot of commercials though.
He crushes it.
No free ads. But I think Andy Reid's takes the kick.
That one's great.
Great
The
commercial.
mustache, very good.
All right, so you have let's see. So the Lions keep the Packers out, and the Lions in a game that could have been boring, and a game they could have packed it in, they didn't. That fourth quarter play calling, the hook and ladder there was
Unreal.
just absolutely electric. Quay Walker doing what he did, pushing the guy. Can I just say something right there? All the pearl clutching and everything. He barely pushed him. It was almost like a playful push. It was not playful.
But he also acted like a baby when he walked back to the locker room.
Okay, he did do that.
He apologized.
You've
and he
seen Tommy
apologized
throw
today. You can't be doing that.
benefit.
You can't even be sniffing on him when your playoff hopes are on the line.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's
You
one of
gotta be
those things.
smarter.
It was more. I think the outrage was more that it wasn't even like a coach. It's like medical staff.
Yeah.
Like it's like in war. Like you don't shoot the medic. Like it was like he made contact with the medic. Medic's like off limits. You don't
It is.
you don't touch the
Especially
medic.
after this last
If the,
week,
if, the,
right?
if the medic is trying to get by you, you get out of his way.
Andrew Garfield out.
Well,
there.
and I
Not
think
even
I
armed.
think what they didn't talk about on the broadcast was 95 like pressed him after it.
Yeah.
No one like he shoved him and he kind of turned around and then 95 like walked up on him and was like, "What's good, motherfucker?" And I was like, "No one said anything to this guy." I thought that was even worse. He, like,
I don't know.
He like intimidated him.
That
The
was
guy-
even like the weirdest thing that happened on the Packers defense yesterday, where Rasul Douglas went up and just slapped the
I
ball.
just-
He went KG on him.
And that wasn't even the penalty.
That was one of my favorites because he just calmly walked up and did it. And one of the I don't know if it's the tight end or an offensive lineman just stood up and was like, what's he doing? What's going on here?
He just like stood over the ball for a solid like 4 seconds.
Yeah.
Nobody moved.
I'll tell you why the biggest factor. This is the biggest factor why Aaron Rodgers might be done to the Packers in general. I was at home yesterday.
He's had a bunch of losses at home.
That was Lambeau for the fucking play. I get. Okay, once they started to lose at home with like against Vic and then like a couple others, the steamrolled. You got to win that fucking game last night, especially when you're going in with that momentum. People were talking Super Bowl for him for
again
pretty much.
at home
All 3 games are home.
against the Lions. You score 16 points.
Yeah.
And the Lions are equipped to win shootouts. I don't know how many 2016 games they even had this year, but they or whatever the final score ended up being. I guess it was 2016, right?
I guess they they played both games. They played against each other, were low scoring, and the Lions won both.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I like Dan Campbell. I like the Lions. I like that running back
Jamal Williams.
Yeah,
They're going to be like the sexy team going next year.
Yeah.
yeah,
They're going to be like America's team coming in next season.
yeah. They're America's sweethearts right now.
Yep. Them and the Jags.
Because they're not going to be drafting a quarterback now.
No way.
And Goff has it.
No.
Well, they're not really high enough to get a game changer anyway, right?
No, they have the 5th pick
Is
because they have the Rams pick.
Oh, that's in, you know where that is? That's in tank your franchise by picking Will Levis territory. Somebody between like 5 and 10 is taking Will Levis and going to ruin their franchise the next 10 years.
Sure.
That's going to be an interesting and as we go forward to this draft. Speaking of the draft, the Bears have the number 1 pick. The Texans, against all odds, won yesterday. What are they doing?
What do you mean? They're playing to win the fucking game.
I know, but why?
If Lovey, but because if Lovey Smith is there and he's being told that he's not going to be there next year, what the fuck do they care? Like
The players
fuck that
probably care.
No, they don't.
Players
care.
don't want the best possible draft pick.
Not if you're already on the field and they're saying lose, you fucking suck. We need
No,
to get better. Because what player for the Texans is going to be there 5 years from now?
Do I want
Name
David-
one player from the Texans that's going to be there 5 years from now.
Laramie Tunsil.
Maybe.
I just name one.
Maybe.
Okay. Stingley.
Probably.
I mean, I can name a lot.
Not a quarterback.
Right. That's what.
Not a superstar.
That's the point.
Not an all-pro.
That's the point. If I'm playing for the Texans, do I want to go in next season with
But I'm
Davis
saying if
Mills,
you're,
or do I want to go with Bryce
if you're
Young,
actually
Stroud?
playing that game, if you're an average player for the Texans who need to show on film that you can still fucking get out there and play because you know you're not going to be a part of this franchise in the future because they're saying tank this shit, they're going to draft your replacement, I commend them on winning.
Why do you think every player is just going to be out of a job? There's decent players in there somewhere.
I wouldn't tank.
Really, we should be thinking more about the guys that at Colts -2.5, -3. That's who you should be thinking about.
Were you one of those guys?
I was also one of those guys that had Jets plus 3.5.
That one's disgusting.
Those happened legitimately in real time in like a minute and a half.
Yeah.
That was disgusting. I wanted to cry. I almost cried.
About these
I
plays.
would have.
Did you have any bad beats yesterday, Megan?
No, because all I had was the Packers that ended up just being a bad pick in general. So
Yes.
no bad beats.
Everything's really a bad beat if you think about it.
Now, that being said, if I was a Texans fan, I'd be fucking furious.
Right. That's what. Wait.
Because you're talking about the players and the coaching
Why
staff.
are you pushing back on it when I
He converted a 4th and 12 and a 4th and 20. Like, get the fuck out of here, Davis Mills.
Yeah. Throw
The one time you need to be bad.
it a little short.
Did you see the Reddit?
Yeah, he actually balled out.
Bounce it to him.
The Texans Reddit boards were very funny.
Yeah.
It was like they were ranking like all-time quarterbacks. It was like Mahomes, like who like Joe Montana, Brady, and then one it was like Davis Mills when you need the number 1 pick.
Right. Well, I guess it's job preservation for Davis Mills. Although they'll still get I guess they're still number 2. They'll still get a quarterback. Listen, if you're
Davis Mills is a perfect scenario. Like,
if you're in the top 2. Like, I don't even know how you separate Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud. I think whoever gets – it's 1A, 1B to me. Whoever gets one, the other one's going to be fine. So I wouldn't worry about that. But the Bears at number 1 are interesting because they have Justin Fields. Doesn't seem like they need a quarterback, so they either take Will Anderson or somebody comes up and trades with him.
Take a trade, get 3 first-round picks, and stock up those lines.
And you think somebody like the Colts will come up and trade with them?
I think so. Somebody will.
Yeah. Trade down twice.
Colts, even like Panthers, somebody will.
Yeah.
Just pick the best lineman on the board, offense or defense. That's it. Every first and second round pick.
Yeah, but I do think Will Anderson's going to be interesting because he's going to be mighty tempting there too for the Bears. Because if you can't get good trade value and you have to pick him, I think that's pretty good.
They need a lot of defensive help too.
They need a lot of everything.
But that's why I think they should trade because they need so much of everything.
But they are in and I don't know the numbers of it, but apparently the Bears have
the most cap space.
They have the most cap space. They control the free agent market. They control the draft. They control everything. And as much as somebody like the Bears can control those things, because having the most cap space doesn't mean you're going to spend it all wisely.
No.
There are certain organizations in the league that do it well, and certain.
I've seen the Jaguars just did it this past offseason.
Yeah.
And then on 1 pick, they had the most draft capital or the most free agents capital, and they went from like 0-2 winning the division.
And people laughed at them when they signed Christian Kirk.
They did.
And he had a hell of a year.
A lot of defensive guys they signed worked out very well too.
Yeah, he had a hell of a year. Oh, that game happened Saturday night. That was a winner-take-all game for the Jags and the Titans. And the defensive touchdown changes it with 3 minutes left. When they interviewed Trevor Lawrence after the game, how's this feel? And Trevor Lawrence didn't do a goddamn thing to do it. Now, I know he did the regular season. I mean, that was a lot of him.
Called out towards the end of the year.
Oh, he was fantastic all year. But
I wouldn't say all year.
Most of the year.
Second half of the
Yeah.
year for sure.
They lost to the Texans at home.
So anything I say, you're just gonna be.
You're saying inaccurate things. You said he balled out all year.
On the balance of the year, Trevor Lawrence played very well.
There was a point in time where Trevor Lawrence
take
was
a 16
bust
games and a
this year.
17 game season, and you say if you judge Trevor Lawrence, you say he played well. Okay, that's the truth.
Towards the end.
Trevor Lawrence threw some duds up, but he was pretty consistently solid.
He was even
Above
good
50
early in the year when
yards.
they lost to the Commanders week 1. He was good. Their defense sucked.
There was a stretch of 4
he was
or
very
5
good early.
stretch of
He
4 or
threw
5
up-
games.
But
He threw up
just
two
saying that
massive
because he
duds.
unloaded
He threw
on
up a
them.
dud versus the Eagles in that rain game, and he threw up a dud against the Broncos. Like 2
But
legitimate
Evo, you
duds.
just unloaded on him, so I feel like you're being very biased.
No, I feel like he was
Texas won
very
too.
good early.
He had some good games early. Debo's right. He had a stretch like in the middle-ish where he was really bad for like a month.
And he was really bad.
No,
He
but
was good, but he was good other than that.
No, me and you got to fight now. Trevor Lawrence game log. Yeah. So in week 1, 275, I'm sorry. What does that prove? Doesn't matter. Anyway,
Exactly. Oh, fire Smitty with a Smitty to a parcel. Fuck you, chat.
I didn't say fire Smith.
No, this is the chat guy.
I didn't say fire Smith. I would never say that. I would never hired you in the first place. All right.
Me either.
Huh?
I wouldn't have hired me either.
How you feeling? Number 1 seed.
I feel good knowing that they have a week off to rest and get healthy. and that's a must for them to have a chance at a run.
Yeah, well, they have that advantage. That's what you get when you hit the number 1 seed.
Yesterday's game was very uninspiring.
They don't have to leave Philadelphia anymore this year until the Super Bowl, so that's good. But did you expect to be inspired yesterday? I mean,
I expected a little more juice to come out of that game. I expected to put up a 30 spot.
Didn't they get
a lot of meat were on
they got a comfortable lead and then
kind of, but it was like it's not that they had the lead. It was how it was a bunch of field goals. You're playing Davis Webb, who I didn't think looked like that bad. So obviously, you know, a 2-score game should have been enough. It just things looked a little off, especially with Hurts. And I know he's got the AC sprain. You just want to get healthy, want to get back to.
You're not walking into these playoffs with 100% confidence.
Yeah, you sound very unconfident.
Yeah, I don't think any team should ever do that.
I feel like the Chiefs are in a good spot. I don't know. What about you? Your team's going to the playoffs.
I feel good. I mean,
if you could cherry pick a matchup, I think you got the one.
If I could have handpicked maybe any team on both sides, I would have picked the Vikings. We should have beat them a few weeks ago. I think we're going to beat them. I really do.
So here are your playoff matchups for week 1. It's Chargers at the Jags. The Chargers are -1.
That line's it opened like 2.5, 3. Yeah.
I don't have to say how much I love the Jags, do I?
Well, I mean, can we talk about Staley just keeping Justin Herbert?
I was gonna have a fucking aneurysm.
Keenan Allen scored a second touchdown late last night. I'm just like scrolling ESPN GameCast or whatever. It's like, what the fuck is Keenan Allen doing in the fourth quarter?
Denver -3. They muff the punt. They go down and score. With Keenan Allen, who's made of glass, they're playing him in the fourth quarter of a game that means nothing. And then they get the 2-point conversion. They're playing fucking Justin Herbert in the fourth quarter of a game that means nothing. I was like, how much of a fucking asshole is Staley? What an idiot.
Megan, do you feel passionately?
Mike Williams got carted off. No. Sorry, Megan.
It's unbelievable.
No, I am saving the passion. Smitty seems like he's like red with passion, so I'm gonna let him just keep going. You know, and I'll just hang back because my team's not in the playoffs, so I'm just listening to you guys.
Mine's kind of in the playoffs, but we got to figure out if Tua plays, +11 is.
How's his head?
I think it's a bargain.
I almost wanted to take the +11, just basically like taking the shot if Tua plays.
Yeah, because if
the line will go down to like 6.
Because when and I know regular season is regular season, but when they played a couple of weeks ago in Buffalo, Tua had him beat and ended up losing at the end. But if Tua plays, 11's crazy. So if you are a betting person, maybe just go ahead and take that shot. Just go ahead and play the +11 right now and see what it does for you. So Dolphins +11 at the Bills, Ravens +6.5 at the Bengals. This, and I know they went to the Super Bowl last year. Okay, I know that, and I know they're different, and I know they played well this year. But this seems like a classic Bengals spot where they're favored over a divisional opponent at home in the playoffs, and they fuck it up. Is that wild?
I think
the Ravens are not.
This isn't Marv Lewis, Andy Dalton.
Okay,
it's a different Bengals team.
Different Bengals.
I would agree with that.
It is, but they are going to be playing a totally different Ravens team than they've seen.
Because Lamar's going to be playing, right?
But there's also a team that's covered 22 of the last 26 games.
The Bengals have?
Yes.
Good stat.
A disgusting number. Against the spread the last 2 years, they've been like the best maybe of all time.
I've already played the Bengals. I don't care.
Megan, I know you're a Saints fan, but you're also your secondary team is the Bengals because of Burrow and Chase, right?
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
I also don't trust the Ravens in any sort of playoff game whatsoever. But I think they do keep it.
How can you not cheer for Joe Burrow? Like, he's so much fun to watch. Him and Chase. Like, even if you don't want them to be your secondary.
I don't know. He's kind of got a little douchebag energy to him.
No, come on, Brandon.
Just a little bit.
No, he's just jealous. It's okay.
He does, but he's so cool.
Yeah, it's like if
he was like a dick in real life and it came out like that.
Star Wars and shit.
So here's the thing.
I think he started dressing too flashy.
He's got likable douchebag energy.
He's got money now. Wouldn't you dress flashy?
No,
I would never change the way I dress.
I'm a Burrow guy. I'm saying
bullshit. Look at your head.
I think when he started wearing the fits, that was when people started turning on him a little bit.
He's got likable douchebag energy right now. If Burrow wins 2 Super Bowls, people will
I'll get passionate about Joe Burrow. If you want me to be passionate about something, he's definitely not a douchebag. He literally has his Star Wars shit up in his room from when he was a kid. Like, he's very humble.
Plenty of people like Star Wars douchebags. Have you met Jeff D. Lowe?
I thought you were going to say somebody else. I'm sorry.
Who else did you think I was going to say?
You brought them up whenever LSU was playing in the Citrus Bowl against Purdue, but I didn't actually say their name.
Oh,
So
I
was
see.
just
I see. Boy, LSU, Purdue. Yeah. Okay. On the NFC, we have Seahawks plus 10 at Niners. That number seems a little inflated, too. No, think it's
right?
not close.
I think this is the game where like it's the classic like you fuck around the regular season. I think it's like playoffs. Like better team just takes control.
The Giants are plus 3 at the Vikings. The Giants, I believe, will be the most bet underdog this week.
As they should be.
Yeah. And then the Cowboys minus 2.5 at the Bucks. If there were a team that is struggling right now, if there were a team that is limping in the playoffs, that I think you can look up in 6 or 5 weeks, however many weeks, and they're playing in the Super Bowl, I would pick the Cowboys.
They could also
You
lose.
have your
They
Dak
could also lose
Prescott
this week.
goggles on.
Dak has been so fucking bad,
You
Real
have your
bad.
Prescott goggles
and he's
on.
throwing so many picks. What if he just stopped throwing the picks? Like, they still have the number 1 scoring offense. Like I don't know. I feel like but then again, winning at Tampa.
I like the Bucks plus 3.
Winning at Tampa is going to be hard. But the Bucks aren't good.
I think they finally have actually gotten better the last like 2-3 weeks.
Their defense
Tom
has stepped
Brady's
up a
first
lot.
losing season, right? Like regular season.
And he still made the playoffs.
You want a fun fact
Won the
about
division.
the Buccaneers?
I do want a fun fact about the Buccaneers.
Worst against the spread record by an NFL playoff team ever. 4-12-1 against the spread.
Really? That's a good fun stat.
Good numbers, Ebo.
I think like the 2002 49ers were pretty close.
Yep.
They were
That would
really
be
bad
Jeff
against the spread.
Garcia. Jeff
But yeah.
Garcia and
Terrell
Terrell
Owens.
Owens.
Yeah, Jeff Garcia and Tom Brady.
Steve Mariucci, maybe their coach.
Lines up.
I think it was Mariucci.
Was that the year that we played them in the playoffs? Had that crazy sequence where there was like pass interference on the illegal man downfield, and it was like a hold. They didn't know like how to call
It was a missed kick at the end.
You remember that when
Yeah.
the play I'm talking about? They like didn't know how to call it
Yeah.
because they like threw it to a receiver who was not eligible, but they pass interfered with him,
All right.
and they like didn't know what to do.
I have some futures numbers here for you off the Barstool Sportsbook. If you're in a legal gambling state that has the Barstool Sportsbook, you should download it. You should have it. You should have access to it. You should enjoy it. Here are the not to win the Super Bowl. These are to win their conferences. Here are the numbers to win their respective conferences. In the AFC, and both, you have basically co-favorites. The Chiefs are plus 150. The Bills are plus 180. Okay. The next stop is Bengals plus 450, and Bengals are very good. You like that one?
Yep.
The Chargers are plus 1,200. Now, I think realistically, there are 3 teams that could probably win the AFC. It's the top 3, the Chiefs, the Bills, the Bengals. If I'm picking, oh boy, Ebo's got a face. If I'm picking
I got one
out-
more.
If I'm picking out the last group, Chargers plus 1,200, Jags plus 1,700, Ravens 20-1, Dolphins 30-1. Now, these are interesting because
If Tua plays, they can beat anybody.
okay, this is interesting because the Chargers are 12-1, the Jags are 17-1, and the Ravens are 20, and the Dolphins are 30. If Lamar plays and the Dolphins and Tua plays, both of those teams are better than both those 2 other teams, right? The Dolphins are good with Tua. The Ravens are much better with Lamar. What's your team? Because you got a face in there.
Well, I said it last week, but
And I agree with
I've
him.
just fallen in love with the Jaguars. I don't know what it is. Every time I watch Trevor Lawrence throw a football in a game, I just like, wow.
Even his incompletions are incredible.
Yeah, it just zips out of the hand. It's the same thing that happens to me in college with Spencer Rattler. I just see the ball come out of the hand, and I fall in love.
Trevor Lawrence is one of his first passes yesterday.
See where that ball ends up?
or Saturday.
Yeah, but it comes out so hot, like so zippy.
Trevor rolled out and he threw to a guy, and the guy missed it, and it hit him. But he was on the run, and he threw it so hard, so fast, so perfect. I was like, I don't understand. This is the best quarterback we've ever seen. I love Trevor Lawrence. I've been on the Jags all year, and it's been a roller coaster ride. On the NFC side,
That seems like he has some douchebag energy.
no, see what you're projecting now, because Trevor Lawrence has no douchebag energy. He has, and
I would disagree.
and
I would
he went to
disagree. I don't know.
Clemson.
The hair just says douchebag to me. I don't know.
He has your hair.
Yeah, exactly. Douchebag.
Fair point. Eagles are plus 160. Niners are plus 175. I guess those are your co-favorites on the NFC side. You know who's next?
Cowboys?
Cowboys. Cowboys at 6-1. The Bucks 13-1, the Vikings 14-1, the Giants 22-1, and the Seahawks 30-1. Again, I think there's 3 teams. I think it's Eagles, Niners, probably solid 1 and 2, but I really think the Cowboys at 6-1 are not a terrible play.
I think the Giants can be scrappy enough to give anybody a game in the NFC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are also discounting the Vikings.
No, we're not.
Who had
No, we're not.
They have pieces.
They had a hell of a year, and
They
Justin.
have pieces.
What if Justin Jefferson just goes buck wild crazy in these playoffs?
They have a negative or close to negative.
No, it is negative. Negative win differential.
It's embarrassing.
Honestly, it's hard for me to say this. I don't think they really have like the biggest shot, but in that list, odds wise, Bucks
Tom Brady at 13-1.
13-1, just because I really think they can win that first game.
Yeah, and then who knows?
And then who knows? Like if you win that first game, you never know what can happen after that.
Now on the Barstool Sportsbook app, okay, it has a future section where you can predict exact matchups. All right. For example, if you want to bet the Chiefs to beat the Eagles in the Super Bowl, it's 10-1 plus 1,000. Chiefs over Niners 10-1 plus 1,000. Bills over Eagles plus 1,200. Bills over Niners plus 1,200. And now you switch to the NFC winning. Niners over Chiefs is 14-1. Eagles over Chiefs 14-1. Niners and Eagles over Bills both 16-1.
Do we have it where you can just pick just the matchup and not like winner?
I don't. Do we? I'm sure we probably.
You can parlay the AFC champion with the NFC champion.
Yes.
So I want to do Niners Bengals is my prediction.
Now, if you Niners Bengals is your prediction?
1988.
Oh, that's they met twice, 1981 and 1988 season. Yes, 20-16. The Niners won the second one. John Taylor from Joe Montana.
It's your 20th birthday.
Y'all having like an old guy off right now? I feel like y'all are just
They do all the time.
I'm sorry.
All the time.
Maybe we're just sports fans talking sports. Do you ever think about that?
Could be a
I wasn't born in the 80s, so I wouldn't know.
Me neither.
So.
Oh, 84.
Old off.
Yeah, I'm
Okay. All right. You're not, spring chicken yourself. All right.
I'm very cognizant of that fact.
Yeah.
My back tells me every day.
Yeah. They met twice. The first Super Bowl that the Niners won was over the Bengals, and the second, not the second, third one.
Brandon, how's your back?
You'll get it, old man.
You still bruised up?
My bruise has pretty much gone away. It was touch and go there for a while. I thought I had internal bleeding. I thought I was potentially dying. But the bruise has faded, and my encounter with the 8,000-pound bull has subsided. I won. Now, if you wanted to take, the longest shot of a matchup, you can bet Seahawks to beat the Dolphins. You can bet that at 2,000-1. $25 bet would win you $50,000.
Might as well.
I'm just saying.
Sprinkle.
There you go. Seahawks over Dolphins is your longest shot as far as.
There's never. I know there's been. I mean, there's 7 seeds now, but I know there's been 6 seed winners like the Giants and the Packers.
Packers, right? Yeah.
There's never been a 6v6 off, right?
I don't think there's been a sixer.
Yeah.
Were the Steelers a 6 or were they were?
I think one of the times
they were a wild card.
Yeah,
they
one
were.
of them. They were wild card.
Both 7 seeds.
Yeah, these
you
are,
saw it last year.
No, again, the Seahawks I think is a 7 seed or what a 7 seed should be. They're not very good. The Dolphins are a tricky 7 seed. Their season tanked because their quarterback got hurt. If he plays, different story. Man. Are we headed towards Chiefs, Bills, and Niners, Eagles? Is that a foregone conclusion to you guys?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, no, because you got Bengals.
Yeah, I think the Bengals are going to take it.
Look, I for the Eagles, if they play the Vikings, I think they steamroll them at home. I can see where the Giants or Bucks give them a game. I think they beat the Cowboys. I think they beat the Cowboys. Good.
I think they beat the Bucks.
But again, if they're not healthy, they might not win anyway. So
Bucks are so big and slow. Like I think
I think they'll handle them. But I could see the Giants giving them a fucking game.
You're already scared about everybody, aren't you? He's just already coming up with these scenarios.
Backs against the wall.
I don't like it. That's why yesterday I needed a 30 spot and I needed some sort of confidence.
Is Brandon? It's because they couldn't score touchdowns against our second string.
Yeah,
defense.
no, that's exactly what it is.
Our second string defense was hold them to field goals.
Well, my question is, and this is the biggest one, when the Eagles lose, how is it Doc Rivers' fault?
Because he fucking guaranteed a Super Bowl for the Eagles. He guaranteed it. This motherfucker. Please tell me you saw that.
I did.
We're saying that. You didn't see that? He guaranteed a Super Bowl for the Eagles. It's like, what are you doing, man? Why?
All right. We have the biggest game in college football tonight, and we have about 20 minutes to talk about it, and that's what we're going to do right after I tell you about Optimizers. If you're looking for the newest cutting-edge products to push your brain and body to the outer limits of what's possible, then you should stop what you're doing right now, Megan. Stop what you're doing, which is nothing, and check out Nootopia, the most powerful bespoke nootropics on the market today. These nootropic stacks are taking the industry by storm because they're safe, legal, and highly effective. And Booth, I have a request from Mr. Smitty that he would like to try these. So if you can get
Oh, no, I've had Nootopia. I just would like more in the office.
Oh, well, he would like to have more of these. So if we could get some of those for my friend, Mr. Smith, that would be great.
I don't work here.
Anything to make him better. You do work here at the company, TJ. You see, every stack was formulated by a man who's the most advanced brain chemist and nootropics formulator alive today. Even better, every formula is customized for you based on your strengths, weaknesses, and goals, so you get exactly what you need. Taking the right formulas at the right times can help you focus intensely, block out distractions, reduce stress and anxiety, enhance your creativity, boost your memory, and a whole lot more. That's a lot. You'll be amazed by how quickly they work. Within 15 to 30 minutes, you should begin to feel and notice the mental effects. Here's the best part. Do you want the best part?
I love the best part.
These formulas come with a full 1-year guarantee, so there's zero risk for you to try them yourself. So here's the deal. If you feel like you're not fully maximizing your potential, I don't think anybody in this room is guilty of maximizing their full potential, both personally and professionally, then you owe it to yourself to try Nootopia's formulas. Simply go to Nootopia.com/picks and use code PICKS to receive 10% off any order. Again, that's Nootopia, Nootopia.com/picks.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how well do you think Marty Mush pronounced Bio-Optimizers doing that?
I'm gonna go between 3 and 4.
It was negative. He
Okay.
got to the word and gave up the ad read.
Speaking of, did y'all ever talk about Speed Demon? Speed Demon, yes.
Yes.
Okay. Did y'all see the bin mints I found in the wild?
Yeah, it's crazy. They just grow them on trees.
I didn't see your bin mints.
You didn't see my bin mints?
I don't think I did.
He was minty as fuck.
It was
Minty as fuck.
It's almost like they're all related.
Look,
Oh yeah, oh, yeah.
Minty that motherfucker is.
I
The
was
shape is just like a potato.
I was standing, I was there for the game, and the Ole Miss managers came up to me, and this guy came up, and I was like, "Oh my God, he's in the Ben Mintz program," and I said, "You look just like Ben Mintz." The kid had no idea who he was, so
No King of
He
the
knew who
South?
you were.
It's impossible.
knew who I was, but I was also standing in front of him.
There's no way he looks like that, goes to Ole Miss, and doesn't know who Ben Mintz is.
I would agree
There's
with that.
no way.
But here's
That's
the
a lie.
thing: his buddies were with
That's a
him,
lie.
the other managers, and I said, "He looks like Ben Mintz," and they went, "Oh my God, you're right." So it had never occurred to them. They had never I would be calling that kid Mintz, Junior Mintz, all the time. And,
Junior mints. That's funny. There you go. That's funny.
But look at it. That's Ben Mintz 20 years ago. All right. Well, anyway.
You look a lot happier with him than you do with real bin mints.
Yeah, well, because I am.
He called in while you were gone.
I'm sure he did. All right, so we've got Georgia, TCU tonight. Georgia and TCU. Now, I have famously pretty much picked against TCU every step of the way. I picked Michigan to beat them by 3 or 4 touchdowns. I just don't know that I believe in them. The defense statistically just doesn't rank very high. I just don't know how they keep winning these games. But here's the thing. You don't have to have somebody believe in you to win a championship. You can get doubted all the way to a championship. And for once, a team who says, oh, nobody believed in us might actually be right. Because not a whole lot of people believed in them, and they're playing for a national fucking championship tonight against the Georgia Bulldogs.
Has there been a team in recent-ish history that was unranked coming in the year and just basically rode it all the way to the championship?
Well, unranked, I'm sure there has been. I don't know where LSU was the Burrow year.
Where was Utah that one year where they got kind of shafted out of the BCS but whipped up on Pitt? in their.
I thought that
that was
read this
before the playoffs.
This has been like the first
Without
time in a
Smith.
really long time that this is the pre-AP like if they didn't have a slot in a pre-AP poll getting to the Natty.
What?
It's been a really long time.
And there's no reason anybody should nobody should have seen this coming because it's still unexplainable. TCU went 5-7 last year and fired a guy who'd been there for 20 years. They bring back Max Duggan, who had been fine, and they bring in Sonny Dykes, who never in his career showed the ability to do this.
No, not like this.
Like he had his time at Cal was forgettable. SMU was whatever, and now he's on the precipice of winning a national title. Like, this is the perfect storm of coach and players and circumstances. And here's my thought about a smart man would stop doubting TCU. He would say, "Oh, I doubted them against Michigan. I said they'd lose by 3 touchdowns." A smart man would finally count his losses and say, "I refuse to bet against TCU." I'm not
You're
a smart
man.
I'm not a smart man. Georgia. If I could sing, I would do the Ray Charles song right now. Georgia. What do you think?
So
Georgia.
I'm going to take TCU in the game. Now, the only reason I'm doing that is because the number is just so high to me. Listen, if they don't cover 13.5, whatever. But the thing is, in theory, they can get the shit beat out of them and still cover this game. Honestly, my real pick above everything, I love the over. The over is the pick I love more than a side. I was debating not even taking a side, but it's national championship. I have to take a side. But I love the over because I think Georgia scores 40 plus here, no problem. And I think TCU they're gonna get 25.
If you look at
30 points.
I know it feels like a lot, but if you look at recent national championship game history, it's not a lot. But teams cover 13 in this game pretty much every year. I mean, last year it was 15. The year before, it was 17. It's like 7 out of the. I wrote down all the SEC matchups against non-SEC teams since Florida beat Ohio State in 2006.
Yeah.
I wrote them all down. SEC's winning these games 35-25 by an average, but Clemson kind of skews it because of what they did. But the number 13 was covered in 80% of these games.
But I think this is this year is so different than the past years because those years also all had blowouts in the semifinal games.
Okay.
We didn't get that this year. That's really where I was on TCU all week. Me and Danny talked about it last night. He was like, "What are you on?" And he was saying he was thinking about switching to Georgia. I was having similar thoughts, but I think they somehow we keep just thinking they're not good. They just keep winning.
I just think your Ohio State team is better than this TCU team, IMO. And I mean, I know that they lost by 1, but I don't know. I just don't. It just doesn't feel right.
My thing too is I think that obviously we have better quarterback receiving core, but they Duggan's a good quarterback. Johnson legitimately might be the first receiver off the board. They have good skill position players too to match up. I understand they do this report the 5 stars versus 2 3s, and it's egregiously in Georgia's favor. But I think that's obvious. I think that's needless to be said.
Well, Georgia's pass defense isn't that great.
That's why I think TCU's going to score enough, and I love the over.
Ranked 49th in the country this year, and then Ohio State torched it. I think when we look back on this playoff in 5 years and 10 years, it will be the missed opportunity for those 2 Big Ten teams. I think both will look back with great regret because Michigan lost to a team they had no business losing to, and Ohio State outplayed Georgia and should have won that game. And this tonight could very well have been Ohio State, Michigan, and they both blew it.
Agreed. No,
and Georgia, to me, feels like that team that got the break. Not a break because they made the plays, but they won the game they could have lost, and now they're about to just go out and obliterate this team. Stetson Bennett, you can't explain him. He's not all that super talented. He's not all that sexy, but in the fourth quarter of these championship games, or these big time games, he's the best quarterback in America, and I don't think he makes the mistakes. If Michigan quarterback's name, if McCarthy doesn't give away 2 pick sixes, that game's totally different. Stetson ain't gonna do that.
So
Bennett's 28, right? He's been with this team a really
25,
long time. Well, it feels like 28.
Okay, sorry. Well, I forgot. Louisiana 25 is 20.
So just to counter, just real quick. Obviously, what you said with the pick six and everything, obviously correct, but I do think on some level that game, the Michigan TCU game, as much as they did get those pick sixes, also every time they needed to score, they went and got one.
That's true. especially in the second half.
TCU, every single time Michigan felt like, oh, there's going to be the time they make the run. This is going to be the time they make the run. Bang, TCU right on the field, touchdown.
That 69-yard touchdown to Quentin Johnson, which I think it was third down, and Max Duggan, he rolled a little bit and found Johnson.
Finds him. Yep.
Johnson makes a missed tackle and then goes to the house. That was when you knew, okay, whatever Michigan, no matter what they do, TCU's got an answer.
They had him every time, and that was the difference.
Well, Georgia's been here before. Like, Michigan twice has gotten to the playoff, and twice they've shit the bed. Twice.
Correct.
Georgia has passed that point in their evolution. They're not going to shit the bed. They're not going to.
My thing is, I think TCU is good enough. I don't think they have to shit the bed. I don't think they have to shit the bed. I think they can not shit the bed. I think they can come with like a. I guess I'm kind of arguing for you right now. Like I think Georgia can come with like a B-ish, like a B plus effort and win.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing. Another thing that's being overlooked a little bit. The way Kansas State beat them was they took a 5'6" running back and just ran it down their throat all night. Just ran it down their throat. TCU could do nothing to stop it. Michigan, for whatever reason, because they fell behind so early because of the pick sixes, couldn't really lean on their running game to cut TCU's throat. But Georgia can do that.
But also
Georgia's offensive line, they can run it down their throat.
But Michigan, they couldn't. I agree with you, but Michigan also couldn't. They broke the first run. They couldn't run the ball after that.
Yeah, I don't.
Like the reason they got
Michigan can't be explained.
The reason they got fancy on the goal line was because they got stuffed like 3 times in a row.
I know you're not
1 yard.
I know you're not a big time college guy, but you obviously have feelings about this game.
Yeah, I play college football.
But you don't.
I know.
Say you're more of a pro football guy.
Yes. The one thing I see about TCU and why I like their 13.5, I don't think they'll win. Like if they win, I think it's one of the biggest upsets in college sports history.
Ever.
So seriously, but they're scrappy. They're absolutely scrappy. I think it will be a game. A game in which
Brandon, do we have our SEC goggles on?
Yeah. No, because listen.
Why I say they're scrappy is they played in the most one-score games than like any team ever this year, and they always come out.
I don't think Scrappy can beat Georgia. To beat Georgia, you got to match their talent.
I'm not saying beat. I'm saying keep close.
I understand
the spread,
but I am saying the spread.
But you never know, and then one fluke thing goes your way.
The only way you can beat Georgia is to match their talent. That's the team to my left is the only team in America outside Alabama who can match Georgia's talent, and they did it, and they almost beat them. And for man to man, I just think Georgia's just so much better than TCU that they're going to need so many breaks. And I just don't know how they keep happening. So, can Duggan have a superhuman effort and keep them in the game? Probably, yeah, but.
Be a lot different if TCU.
I don't think so.
They could also be down.
Fucking wrecks.
They could also be down 28-7 and late in the first quarter. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Be a lot different if TCU still had Jalen Reagor, game changer.
Just physically not able to not make this about the Eagles.
Hey, better draft prospect than Justin Jones.
You know who? Jalen Reagor once talked to Doc Rivers, ruined his career.
Probably, yeah.
Brandon, I'm surprised you haven't mentioned that nobody believed in Georgia all year.
Did you see
that narrative is unbelievable?
You guys have been doubting them the whole year.
Kirby Smart said that. Kirby Smart.
Stetson Bennett has been saying it all the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, they came out and said after they beat Ohio State, we've been doubted all year. Nobody believed in us.
You were favored in every single game.
Every single game.
Every game they predicted you'd win by a touchdown or more.
You lost 15 draft picks. And I understand you weren't picked number 1 or number 2. You were picked number 3 in the country. Like it's not like you were picked like 28th. They were picked number 3 in the country, and very quick. And when they won that first game, 49-3, they got up to 1 or 2. And the only reason they ever fell out of 1 was because they had to reward Tennessee and what they were doing in the middle of the season. But once they beat Tennessee, they went number 1.
6.5 to Ohio State was the smallest favorite they were all year.
Oh,
you're a 2-touchdown favorite in the national championship game.
Yeah.
Everybody believes in you.
Yes.
They're actually the opposite. No one doubts you.
No
one doubting you.
Hey, if they want that cult mentality in their locker room, that's what keeps them motivated, fine.
Now, the one thing does scare me is Georgia does have an ability to play down a little bit to get bored. I don't know if that really applies in the national title game, but they might need to just get in a place where they need Stetson to save them because that's like their comfort zone right now. And he did it in the national championship game last year. He did it against Ohio State. But I still think just if TCU makes one mistake in the first half, the floodgates are possibly going to open.
They would need to start like they started against Michigan.
Yes.
No, they need. I was going to speak about before. They need a couple they need a turnover or two.
Mm-hmm.
Like they definitely need a couple bounces for sure. They can't just win this
No.
game straight up.
It sounds like I'm doubting them. I'm hating on them. If TCU wins, it's one of the greatest stories in college football history. That's just a fact.
For sure.
If they win the national championship and they beat Georgia and Michigan, they go from 5-7, hiring a new coach and win a national championship at TCU, enrollment 12,000, and beat all these big swinging dicks, it's an incredible story.
If we were to place them like how like Kim Palm does with like luck, what would you put what would the luck percentage be for TCU?
It might break the scale.
Pretty high. Yeah, if they won a national championship, it would break the scale.
Yeah. If you look at that Michigan game, I mean, the things that had to happen. The things that had to happen all year. But whatever, it doesn't matter. All that matters is that you're here.
Brandon, how
Michigan's
cool would it be?
It would be awesome.
Like, think about how it changes the landscape of college football if you can win a national championship at TCU.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
you can win a national championship at Virginia.
People like me hoped that
James Madison.
People like me hoped
school like James Madison could win it all.
We hoped that the 12-team playoff would open it up to where other teams had chances. But TCU just went in and kicked the fucking door down. And they said, we don't need the 12-team playoff. And now if you look at them, this is what the 12-team playoff is going to do. When teams can get to the playoffs, they'll have more recruiting success. If you look at what TCU's doing in the recruiting trail right now,
they're crushing
and the transfers, they're getting everybody.
Yep.
They're getting everybody. They're getting Alabama transfers. They just got a big one this week. I can't remember.
The running back Sanders.
Yeah.
Bama.
Yeah, they're getting these.
Even like the big like East-West Tri whatever games or whatever called the high school All-American. Ton of TCU guys all over the place.
Yeah. So they're already showing it that and they're in great position.
Also, I was looking at their recruiting class, like say their freshmen, their current standing freshmen, sophomores are phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like they're built to be good. Like next year, I think they're going to be like as long as the quarterback play doesn't fall off drastically, they're going to be top 10, 15 again.
Well, they're in phenomenal position to be the swinging dick in the new Big 12.
For sure.
And when Texas, Oklahoma leave, they're going to have the best talent profile.
Like I could easily see them being like potentially playoff bound again next year.
Yeah.
At least competing for it.
They're a great story, but we're a gambling show. We gamble. And I think -30. Again, when people say 13 is a lot of points, if you look in these national title games when these elite teams have chances to win a championship, it's not rare at all for a blowout. I'm just going to read the scores since 2006. 41-14, 37-21, 44-16, 42-25, 52-24, 42-14. Like, there's a lot of blowouts in this game.
I also – sorry.
Go ahead, Megan.
I don't want to be like the A plus B equals C person here, but like TCU getting beat by K-State, right?
Right.
That just doesn't equate to me. Like, and then the way Alabama then beat K-State, right?
Yeah.
Like SEC – like that's I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. I think I'm with you, Brandon.
Well, sometimes you have to say F it and free your fire with the Fireball F it pick of the day, and I've got it right here. Are you guys ready for the Fireball F it pick of the day?
I've got it.
Huh? I have it.
You didn't tell me what it was.
Well, I didn't, but I have it. Does she have one too?
I have it.
No.
You have it. Well, guess what? For the first time in Pick Central history, we have 2 Fireball F it picks of the day.
Boom.
I got one.
TJ actually texted me thinking I was Big Ev for Fireball F picks.
That's fine.
So maybe we have 3.
I'm going to lead you off with my Fireball F it pick of the day. Fireball, #1 shot in the United States of America. Brock Bowers is somebody who's kind of been quiet over the last stretch of the season, but he is, as far as talent goes, probably the best player on the field tonight. Brock Bowers, the tight end, the John Mackey Award winner. Brock Bowers to score 3 touchdowns tonight is plus 2,000. 3 touchdowns from Brock Bowers, plus 2,000. That is my Fireball F it pick of the day, and I know Ebo likes it because he's smiling big. Big Ev, what is your Fireball F it pick of the day?
So it's not Brock Bowers, but I was going to say before, I really like his over receiving yards.
Yes.
TCU's been bad against tight ends. Ohio State kind of held him in check. I do think he has a big game, but that's not the F it pick. The F it pick is a kid who's played his balls off all year, who his last game as a college football player is going to leave it all on the field. It's Max Duggan to reach pay dirt tonight, plus 130. That's what it is.
Okay.
Short yardage. Keandre Miller's banged up. We may play, may not. Short yardage. Going balls out. Duggan gets in the end zone.
Sabres to win the shutout. Third pick.
Shut up. Nobody cares about the fucking Sabres right now. Did you have one?
Yeah, I had one. I took in the semifinal.
The third Fireball F it pick of the day is
Jack Mack and I are both on this. We love this.
Oh, I know it is. I love it.
Max Duggan over rushing yards.
Yep, love it.
all right.
My card as well.
Max Duggan over.
Don't be
Russian.
shocked if he breaks like a 50-yarder.
Hey, Megan, you want
I thought you were going to say his leg. I'm
Megan,
sorry. What?
do you want a Fireball F it pick of the day?
Yeah, Georgia minus 17.5.
Oh, I love a good alternate line. I always alternate.
Honestly,
line
you should go 20.5.
Yeah, just
If you're gonna go.
Yeah.
Might as well.
Last year I had alternate line on Georgia. I don't remember what the spread was, but they hit it with that pick
six.
Oh my God!
See, that's my biggest fear with this TCU game is where TCU is like in range the whole game, and then somehow like they're within like 10. All of a sudden, Georgia wins by 20.
Very quickly, we're in the final minute. Picks, Big F.
All right, so I've said already I'm on TCU plus 13.5. My favorite pick of the day is the over 63. And I'll tweet my full card. I'm going to add some player props like Duggan score, his rushing yards, Brock Bauer receiving yards. I'll tweet out the full card.
I have Georgia minus 13.5. I have officially on my card, I think Brock Bauer's 2 TDs plus 400. For the effort pick, I went 3 TDs plus 2,000 to really get crazy. But if you just want a solid bet, I like this one. I believe in it. Go ahead, Big. What's his name? Smitty.
Close enough. Flyers have won a couple games in a row. That ends tonight against the Sabres in Buffalo. Knicks.
How you spell Sabres at all?
Love the Knicks tonight at home against the Milwaukee Bucks.
All right.
Under 6.5.
And Megan.
I haven't tweeted out any of my natty plays yet, but I got Howard plus 3, Alabama State plus 7, and Oral Roberts plus 6. But I have a ticket on Georgia minus 13 and also the under 63.5.
The under, huh? That's an interesting one. These teams can score.
Yeah, I know. But that's why I said I haven't put them out yet. I'm still undecided.
Why are you hollering at me? Why are you hollering?
I'm worried. I don't know what I want to do.
All right. Well, it was great to have you here.
Thanks.
All right, that's Megan. That's the boys. The Yak is up next.
How do you spell Sabres?